Hello. Yeah. We start. So in English, it's a 40 marks exam that you will be attempting out of 100. It's a major part. What all are you going to study? See, look at the page number 1. What proficiency you need to crack the exam in English. Okay. So first is they test you on vocabulary. Vocabulary means all words in English. So how is your knowledge on different words in English? How are words studied in English? You look at the meanings of the words, you see the opposite of the word, you see a group of words that have one word, or certain terms that are commonly used. For example, you say tautology or you say geography. So these are the types of words that are used, and you should have knowledge about these words. All this falls under the vocabulary part. So knowledge about words in English, different words in English. There are hundreds of words, no? There are thousands rather of words in English, and you are supposed to keep knowledge of those words. And they are testing you on vocabulary. Therefore, studying of meanings, studying of antonyms, studying of give one word for becomes very, very easy. One word substitute. And or at least 15 questions will be on these kind of words. So you should learn all the vocabulary that is given in this book. All right? All the vocabulary that is given in this book you should have. And you should learn all the vocabulary. The next thing that they do is they test you on your ability for reading skills. And how are you tested on the reading skills? First of all, how well you can read the questions in the paper. Because if you don't understand the questions that are there in the paper, how will you write a correct answer? So reading the questions, the instructions that are given for a set of 5 or 6 questions becomes very, very essential. They can straight away say, no, write one word form. But what do they say? In the following questions from 1 to 5, so and so is given. So you are supposed to do this. They write a very detailed explanation. Why are they writing such detailed explanation? To test whether you can read the questions properly, understand the question, and then solve the question. That is why reading becomes very essential. Again, in maths, your reading ability is tested, because unless you read the sum properly, you will not be able to pick out which is the correct answer. So reading is an essential part of your competitive exams. And then they give you separate sets of comprehensions also. Small easy passages we saw yesterday. We saw so many of them. They are all easy passages if you read the way I read yesterday. You have to literally read with your lip movement, because you can't read loudly in the exam, but you have to read with that lip movement so that you understand and you solve the questions. And all of you are clever children. I don't think understanding a passage is a challenge for you. No, it won't be a challenge, but you have to focus on the passage and then answer the questions. So let me tell you, comprehension is even though it looks difficult, is the easiest part of your question paper. Comprehension is the easiest part of your question paper. You feel, okay, how can we read a passage and how will we answer the questions? No, that is a very easy part. But you have to focus and read the passages. Then the next is grammar. Now grammar is very, very basic grammar that they test you on. You are learning this grammar right from your first standard. In the first standard you are taught articles. They teach you vowels and consonants. No, vowels you use and, consonants you use a. Then there is a definite article the, which is for definite things. So the grammar that is there, even don't get scared of that grammar, because it is very, very basic grammar. It is a grammar that should be given to the 3rd, 4th standard child. And how are they testing you on the grammar? They are confusing you. How are they confusing you? By giving you 4 options. The 4 options, let me tell you, although look easy, sometimes are complicated, whether you should choose this one or this one. And that calls for practice. When you practice continuously one topic, and a favorite topic of the examiners to test you in grammar is prepositions. Prepositions, although they look very easy, are complicated. You have to choose the correct preposition, and then after prepositions, the next topic to confuse you is subject verb agreement, because subject verb agreement has so many rules. So you have to understand the rules. The next topic is tenses. They will test you on tenses. Then the degrees, because the degrees, the comparative degree, superlative degree, degrees of comparison, all these degrees have rules. When you're writing a positive degree, you write as, so whatever the degree is as. When you're writing a comparative degree, you use a than, greater than, higher than, lower than, correct, mightier than, no, more than. So that than is there, and you should remember than is there, it is a comparative degree. Or if the than is missing, then you have to choose the sentence which has a than with the comparative word. It is as simple as that. But you know, for things to become simple, and then they test you on tenses also. Tenses also, I told you the rules, they are very easy to understand if you read the rules. Many people did not note down the rules that day. How are you going to study, tell me, if you don't refer to the rules? Now when you are practicing the paper, if there is a question on tenses and if you get confused, don't you need to refer to the rules of what was written or what was taught? Many of you did not write the rules, and I'm sorry to say, but you should go back to the rules, read what is going to get what is going to be applied there, and then solve the question. See, anything that is basic is very, very easy, but that basic will become easy only when you practice and understand. You have been learning this type of grammar from your first standard. It is not high level grammar that they are giving you in competitive exams. No, they are not asking you to write an essay. Are they asking you to write an essay? No, they are not asking you to do some writing work here. They are just asking you to choose the correct answer. So it is that basic. It is that easy grammar. So don't, even mathematics for that matter, it is that basic mathematics that you need to solve. So you need to learn tables. If you learn tables till 50, if you learn squares till 50, if you learn cubes till 50, that maths becomes very easy. Because you don't know tables, let me tell you, maths becomes difficult because you set out to calculate the tables. So it is very basic English that is asked in the exam. So don't fear the competitive exams, rather practice for them. Please practice. I again request you, many children come with a very blank expression when I ask them, have you learned something? Meanings, how will you learn? How do you learn vocabulary? You learn vocabulary when you come across many difficult words while regular reading. But now regular reading you people don't do. You may not have time, or you know that the hobby of reading has become very limited because of your mobile phones or whatever. Our times we used to read newspapers. The newspaper used to come daily to our house, and we have grown up reading Times of India and other newspapers. So our vocabulary is good, but you people are not reading. So what will you do now for vocabulary? You have to learn these words. You have to. There is no other way out. And you have to learn the words, plus you have to see how you can apply them in sentences. So when you sit with a pen and paper to learn, you will make a sentence and see whether that word is sounding correct. It is that kind of effort you have to take for vocabulary learning. Vocabulary learning calls for effort, and you have to take those efforts. You have to. There is no other way out. So please study vocabulary carefully, learn it. And one word is very easy. One word for many, one word substitution. It is the easiest part of learning vocabulary. Learn that first. No, one word for group of words. So that is the easiest part of learning. All the ologies are very easy to learn. Idioms are very easy to learn. You just have to understand the meaning of those idioms. Idioms are like lessons, no? Short phrases which tell you some lesson or they teach you some moral. So those are very easy to learn. So first target all the one word substitution. Then you learn the idioms. After you learn these, you will get a little bit of confidence. Then you start learning your meanings and antonyms. This book is sufficient enough for reading and learning. You don't need to refer to any other books. Correct? So please set out to learn. I request all of you, don't wait till the last moment. You have enough time in your hand now to prepare for your exams. So please prepare yourself so thoroughly that you should be able to crack this exam. Out of the 100 questions, you should be able to crack it to 99. That should be the expertise you gain. What is there to crack? There is nothing in that. There is maths, which is very easy. There is English, which is very, very basic English. Then there is general knowledge and then computer basics. Computer basics, we have notes in the group, in the book. You have to just study those thoroughly. General knowledge you have to study. I've given you extra material also for history, geography, for general affairs. Current affairs is all 2025 affairs. So you have lot of data with you that you just have to read. But the effort has to be taken from you. I will repeat something for 1,000 times in the class. I will repeat something for 1,000 times or more than that in the class, but if you don't go home and practice what I have said, it is fruitless. It is not going to yield any results. If you think teacher ने class में सिखाया अभी घर जाके आराम करेंगे, वैसे नहीं होने वाली पढ़ाई. Please go home and revise. Okay, so today, so you saw there is vocabulary, there is comprehension, and there is grammar part. These are the three basic sections that your paper comprises. It comprises these three parts. So how are you tested? For comprehension, you read comprehension. For vocabulary, there is synonyms, antonyms, one word substitution, fill in the blanks. Sentence correction, spotting the error, idioms and phrases, incorrectly spelled words. Mind you, there are words that are incorrectly spelled and you have to correct the spelling in the exam. You know, in the spot the error, sometimes they'll give you a sentence with incorrect spelling, and that is your error part. And then analogy and correct arrangement of letters to make a word, jumbled words. Now, if you don't have an understanding of vocabulary, will you be able to write jumbled words correctly? Jumbled alphabets. No, they jumble the alphabet and you have to make a correct word out of the alphabets. This book has everything. Please practice. I am again requesting all of you. It's a request. Go home and open the book and sit. Instead of sitting with your mobiles. And what you do? Scroll through those reels on Instagram. Hai na? Sab everyone. So stop, uninstall your Instagram till your CET exam is over. And that will help you to read the book. So please uninstall your Instagram, your Facebook. What else is there? Huh? Snapchat, yes. Snapchat, if there is there, please uninstall everything if you want to crack your CET. So we have seen reading comprehension yesterday. We will see one word substitution list today. Let's study the one word substitution list. So, see how the one word substitution is. Scientific study of fungi and their property. Mycology. Have you read this at home? How many of you have read this part at home? Only one? Two? I see only 2 hands raised. What about the others? No, you people don't want to study. This is the first part of the textbook and no one has opened it, not even you. No? Nobody? क्यों? throw those mobile phones away and you will read the book automatically. To develop good reading habits, you need to throw away your phone. Why do I carry this book? I hate to see the soft copy of the book. Let me tell you. Nothing can replace books, nothing. मैं मोबाइल से पढ़ लूंगा, कभी नहीं पढ़ सकते. बुक्स ही चाहिए पढ़ने के लिए. So let us see the one word substitution. Scientific study of quiet boys, last and second last bench, please. Scientific study of fungi and their properties, mycology. Preventive or protective treatment against diseases, prophylaxis. See, even I can't pronounce. Prophylaxis. Expedition into jungles for the hunting safari. Crier from a mosque, muezzin, जिसको अजान बोलते हैं ना हम. It's called muezzin in English. Medicine that expels parasitic intestinal worms, vermifuge. Problem solving by trial and error, heuristic. Problem solving by trial and error, देखता हूँ आंसर करेक्ट आता है क्या, है ना. जब एग्जाम में अकाउंटिंग में बैलेंस शीट टैली करनी होती है तुम लोगों को, चल देख लेता हूँ होता है कि नहीं. अगर नहीं हुआ, अगेन यू सेट आउट टू डू समथिंग योर एंड देन. नो, एसेट्स लाइबिलिटीज में, लाइबिलिटीज एसेट्स में, लेकिन वो टोटल टैली होना चाहिए. इफ यू डोंट नो हाउ टू डू इट, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड बाय ट्रायल एंड एरर. कैसे तो भी करके मैं टैली कर देता हूँ. दैट इज कॉल्ड सॉल्विंग बाय ट्रायल एंड एरर, ह्यूरिस्टिक. Large long cutting teeth, carnassials. Large long cutting teeth. Who has large long cutting teeth? Whales, crocodiles, lions. No, their teeth are very strong. They cut through the flesh of their victims. So carnassials. Now if you don't study this, make an effort to study this, you will not be. Some things you will know, but some things you have to remember. Study and remember. The next is a strong feeling of distaste, disgusting. And we use this word very often in our day-to-day life, no? So disgusting, we say. So a strong feeling of distaste is disgusting. An awkward and difficult situation, a predicament. Predicament is also a very common occurring word in your lessons, in your English lessons. So predicament. Feelings of personal omnipotence and grandeur, megalomania. So when you feel very great about yourselves, you are in a state of megalomania. Then you have disrespectful and audacious behavior, impudence. Impudence, it is called tendency of fight, pugnacity, disagreeably harsh, raucous. Raucous. It's a very common word. See, all these words are very common words that you are coming across now. Solid lump of gold, it is called nugget. To impair and weaken, debilitate. Debilitating. It is to weaken and impair something. Fictitious name, pseudonym. A fictitious name is pseudonym. The crudely emotional, melodramatic. Melodramatic ना बोलते हैं ना, कितना नाटक करता है, ऐसे बोलते हो तुम. Literally talking. So that is called being melodramatic. In the stage of being born, nascent. In a state of doubt and perplexity, quandary. Quandary means doubt. A ravenous and insatiable, audacious. Audacious, an audacious. So an audacious है तो audacious is a noun form over here. An audacious. The cultivation of grapevines, viticulture. Full turn on the toe of one foot is pirouette. Sudden change of fortune in life is peripetia. Peripetia. Sudden change of fortune in life. I also did not know this word. So sudden change of fortune in life, suddenly you become poor or suddenly you become rich. Fortune is your money, no? Fortune is your wealth. So sudden change of fortune is peripecia. The dwelling house with the outbuildings and land, misuage. It's misuage. A person of obscure parentage, terra filius. A person with obscure parentage, that is the parentage is not very sound, that is called terra filius. A person who makes and sells women's hat, millionaire. Millionaire. To learn about the enemy forces and their positions, reconnoitre. Okay. Then one who is easily disgusted, squeamish. Squeamish. One who gets very easily upset or something. What are you doing, no? So I am easily getting disgusted. That is called squeamish. Animals moving on their toes, digitigrade. Digitigrade. Next is harsh and vitriolic satire, lampoon. Divine inspiration, afflatus. Who cracked a satire and was lampooned recently? Huh? Kunal Kamra, he cracked a satire and who got lampooned? So that is lampoon, remember. That is lampoon. Harsh and vitriolic satire. Although he was not very harsh, but still somebody got lampooned. That is called lampoon. Samjhe? Quiet. Divine inspiration, afflatus. Gorgeously colored, flamboyant. Gorgeously colored, flamboyant. A morbid aversion for food, cytophobia. When you're aversive of food, sometimes you just don't like to look at food. So there is a phobia for food. You know, you have different kinds of phobia, claustrophobia, whatever phobia. Phobia is a fear. Phobia is a fear that you have. So when you are in a very closed room, you feel claustrophobic. That is, you feel as if someone is holding you and not allowing you to get free. That is called claustrophobia. You feel suffocated. You have fear of heights. I have a fear of height. So when I'm at a higher altitude, I fear higher altitudes. I fear to go to the edge. That is called having a phobia. You have a fear which comes very naturally to you. So there are different types of phobia. Phobia for food is known as cytophobia. Phobia of close places is known as claustrophobia. Like this. Then merely for the sake of getting through a duty is perfunctory. The security is sitting outside. He is just sitting there for the sake of it. He is very bored about his job. He is not interested in doing that job, but he still continues to do that job. Perfunctory. Okay? Doing it not with your whole heart, but with a lot of resistance. Doing any duty with some kind of resistance or with whole lot of resistance is called perfunctory. Short temporary stay is sojourn. I sojourned myself. You must have read this word also in your lessons. Sojourn. Then tearfully sentimental, maudlin. Tearfully sentimental. You become so sentimental. You watch a movie and tears start flowing from your eyes. No? You know it is a false situation that is dramatized in movies, but still you get so emotional that it is called maudlin. Which movie Maudlin does recently? Which movie Maudlin does that even the kids, you know, small kids, they started crying in the theaters very loudly, screaming and getting very emotional. Chhaava. Chhaava is a movie that really, you know, people unnecessarily got tearfully sentimental after watching the movie. Dramatization of 3 hours. For something that has happened hundreds of years ago. A dramatization which takes and retakes. Is it worth crying? It is only for entertainment. No, not for learning. So when you get tearfully sentimental unnecessarily, it is called maudlin. A clause of stipulation, a proviso. A clause of stipulation, proviso, a state of isolation for the fear of spreading contagious disease. Quarantine, you have heard this word so many times during COVID. Quarantine is a very common word that we learned during COVID. You are supposed to separate yourself if you are suffering from some disease. A quality of self-control in the face of pain and difficulty. Equanimity. Equanimity. So when you are exercising self-control, okay, when you are in a painful situation, that is called equanimity. Loud and bitter protest, fulmination. Loud and bitter protest, when you're angry over your government or something and you're protesting on the road. There was a candlelight march recently, for a rape victim. That is called fulmination. You are protesting loudly and bitterly. Okay. Adopting proper methods of bathing in particular spas is balneology. When you go to a spa, there are some rules that you are supposed to follow. There is some personal discipline that you have to maintain, and that is called balneology. In a self-important and proud manner with a swagger. Swag hai iska bolte hai na? Swag is a word which is used very commonly. Who are those girls who are whispering? Piss, 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 piss. Yahan tak awaaz aa rahi hai. Learn the words. With a swagger. Swag. ना हम लोग बहुत यूज करते हैं ये वर्ड कॉलेज स्पेशली कॉलेज गोइंग चिल्ड्रन सो स्वैग विथ अ स्वैगर ए वेरी सेल्फ इंपॉर्टेंट एंड प्राउड मैनर फिजिकल एलिमेंट्स कॉज्ड बाय मेंटल इलनेस psychosomatic diseases okay physical ailments caused by mental stress is called psychosomatic. So you are so much under the stress that it starts showing on your face, or you start suffering some physical ailments because of it. It is called psychosomatic. Watch kept on persons suspected of wrongdoing, surveillance. This word is used with the police. Many with our armed force, no? He is under surveillance. What is it? He is being watched upon. Great and destructive fire, conflagration. Great and destructive fire, conflagration, filled with a wild and foolish love for something, infatuated with. Infatuation, na? You love someone so much, you're so blindly in love with someone, you're infatuated. You don't even try to look at the good and the bad side of it. It is pure infatuation that you develop. Organized persecution, pogrom. Organized persecution. Organized persecution is you know that you need to persecute the fellows, so you plan their persecution. Persecution is punishment. Hanging is a pogrom. Okay, hanging a person because he has committed some crime, okay, a crime which falls under section 302 of our IPC, Indian Penal Code, is called pogrom. The science that studies the similarities and relationships between the machine and the brain, bionics. This word is also very commonly used. It studies the similarities and relationships between the machine and the brain, is bionics. Free from purity or decay is pristine. Okay, when you say it is free from any pristine waters, we use this word when you are seeing a very beautiful landscape. We say the water was pristine. No? In Mauritius, the water is pristine. You can see what is underneath the water also. So that is called pristine. A person recovering from illness, convalescent. A person recovering from illness, convalescent. Is this helping to revise now? Then one who rides on horseback, equestrian. Equestrian. The person who is riding a horse, he is called equestrian. You don't say horse rider. You say equestrian. Correct English. Leave without permission, French leave. When you're leaving without permission, it is called French leave. That which cannot be expressed in words, ineffable. Ineffable is I have no words to express my thanks. I am ineffable. Light, dainty articles of furniture, dress or food, knickknacks. No? There are some knickknacks kept on this table. What are those small things? There is a mobile, there is a remote, there must be a mouse somewhere. So some knickknacks are placed on this desk which are useful to me. That is called knickknacks. Relating to the meaning of words, semantic. Related to the meanings of words, semantic. So now what you are seeing is you are seeing a semantic list of one word substitution. It is related to the meanings of the words. A semantic list is what we are going through just now. Wrongful exercise of lawful authority. Wrongful exercise meaning some lawful authority which is abiding the law, like our armed forces or like our ministers and all, you know, they are supposed to abide by law, and if they are doing some wrongful activity, it is called misfeasance. Misfeasance. You know, all these words you get to read or get to know when you are reading some newspaper. I told you, read the Karwa, they have very good vocabulary. They have very good vocabulary in Karwa. They are writing very well. The journalists of Karwa are writing very well. The Wire is another good magazine to read. They have very good vocabulary, they have very good way of writing. Trusted guide and advisor, mentor. You know this word. This is a very common word. My mentor, you go to him for every little problem and seek the advice of that person. He's called mentor. Perceptible and within the jurisdiction of the court, cognizable offense. The court will use this word very often. It is a cognizable offense. What is it? It is within the jurisdiction of the court. You know, what is the meaning of jurisdiction of the court? There is a law for that offense. The law falls under certain, the offense falls under certain law, and then it is a cognizable. So, perceptible and within the jurisdiction of the court is cognizable. The art of garden cultivation, horticulture, growing of fruits and vegetables. So when you are cultivating fruits and vegetables, it is called horticulture. The art of testing truth by discussion and disputation, dialectics. Testing truth by discussion and disputation. So you discuss also, you dispute also. You are discussing and you say yes or no also to something. That is called dialectics. The study of old age and process of aging, gerontology. So when you are studying old age and the process of aging, it is called gerontology. Too formal and adhering too much to rules, pedantic. Too formal and adhering too much to rules, pedantic. So you are so conscious about the rules around you, it is called pedantic. That is, you don't want to flout those rules. What is the meaning of flout? F-L-O-U-T. Disobey or break the rules is flouting the rules. No, another word that you are studying. So you don't want to flout rules. You are very conscious about rules. You are a pedantic. Keeping bees for the honey they yield, apiculture. When you are rearing bees, it is called apiculture, for honey. When you are rearing bees for honey in the northern states or somewhere, you will see they will rear bees. They will ensure that the beehives are safe. They will have houses for the bees. That is called apiculture. Why? Because you are selling honey or you are in the business of producing honey. General and friendly is ni min homus. This is a new word that even I have learned today. So when you are very general and friendly, your min homus, the bee becomes silent. A member of the middle class, bourgeois. Now this is a word which is used, a member of the middle class, and you will see this word in history. When you are studying the French history, French Revolution, or you are studying earlier history, this word is used very commonly, bourgeois. So if you have studied history, you will see this word, especially if you are studying the English history, the French Revolution or the American Revolution, then you will see this word, okay? People whose remarks or unconventional actions could cause embarrassment, enfant terrible. People whose remarks or unconventional actions could cause embarrassment, enfant terrible. A doctrine opposing government interference in economic affairs, laissez-faire. This is also a very common word. Okay, so in economic affairs, if you are opposing government intervention, it is called laissez-faire. It is a French word, by the way. This is a French word. Full discretionary power, again a French word, carte blanche. Okay, full discretionary power, that is you have the power to exercise anything that you wish. That is called carte blanche, something already accomplished, fait accompli. A person who undermined his own country from within, quisling. So if you don't like your country and from your heart you have a hatred that is developing for your own nation, for your own motherland, that feeling is called quisling. Once in 5 years, queenly, tongue twister, no? Once in 5 years, queenly. Write the spelling and learn. Queenly. Corruption in office, malversation. When there is corruption in office, it is malversation. One who is unmoved by pleas or entreaties, inexorable. So, sometimes your teacher is inexorable. You are caught copying and then you say, please ma'am, let me go. And the teacher refuses to listen. What is the teacher? Inexorable. See that situation. That type of situation, the teacher is not going to listen. She is going to be very strict when you are caught copying especially. So that is called inexorable. Confined in prisons, incarcerated. When you are confined to prisons you are incarcerated. Dishes served between the usual courses, entries. When you are eating a meal, okay? When you are eating a meal and there are small dishes that are served in between the meal, it is called entries. So you go to the hotel, all right, and you are eating the starters, then you have the main course, and then you have the dessert. In between, if the waiter is bringing those bowls of chutney and those bowls of pickles, those are called entries in the restaurant, all right. So something that is between the main meals as an accompaniment, it is called entries. Inability to see in the night, nyctalopia. Inability to see at the night is called nyctalopia. Now you have night blindness. You cannot see when after it is dark. So that is called nyctalopia. One who designs and specifies the steps, choreographer. This you know. Dance steps basically. Not only steps, they are dance steps. One who is witty, clever and delightful, scintillating. Scintillating. She was a very scintillating woman. She was witty, she was clever as well as delightful. One who is ill-tempered and peevish, splenetic. The study of ancestors and family, genealogy. Genealogy. Okay? Genealogy. Genealogy is you're studying how your ancestors were, the family tree basically. Now you're here, then who were your parents, who were their parents, who were their parents, who were the siblings, who were the cousins, who were their children, what are they doing now? When you make a family tree, you are studying your genealogy. To renounce of oath, to adjure. The practice of self-denial in food and drink, abstemioniousness. the practice of self-denial in food and drink is abstemious. That is, you're abstaining from certain foods, you're abstaining from certain drinks, and then abstaining is you refrain from having those. That is called abstemious. Someone who with his identity concealed incognito. You hear this word in your browsing. Incognito browsing. You're hiding your identity when you're browsing something on Google, no? Incognito browsing. So when you're hiding your identity, you are incognito. Desire to do evil, malevolence, possession that has come down from ancestors, heirloom. A person ready to do any reckless act is desperado. Commonplace remarks in a solemn manner, platitudes. A prolonged discussion, palaver. Draining of blood is exsanguination. Draining of blood. When do you drain blood? When you are in an accident or your blood needs to be transfused due to some ailment. That is called exsanguination. Plant and sea animals, zoophytes. Plant and sea animals, zoophytes. Taking and using another author's idea and works, plagiarism. This word is used a lot in among writers. Plagiarism, copying someone's article and pasting it as if it is your own, especially on Facebook. You do a lot of copy paste, no? You don't give credit to the original author. And that is called plagiarism, copying someone else's written work and posing as if it is your own. Long, angry and scolding speech, tirade. Long, angry and scolding speech. Sometimes your teacher does that, no? Or your principal. If you commit some mistake in the school or college, that is called tirade. A childish and idiotic talk, drivel. A childish and idiotic talk is drivel. Flirtatious ways with women, philandering tendencies. A doctor who specializes in pregnancy and childbirth is obstetrician. A letter full of love and desire for one's beloved is billet doux. So when you're writing a love letter to your girlfriend or to your boyfriend, whoever it is, a very loving letter, it is called billet doux. It's a French word. Experiencing the situation for a second time, déjà vu. Déjà vu. The secretive and mysterious clandestine operation is a very secret and mysterious operation, no? There was a clandestine operation undertaken by the police to crack down the thieves. A man endowed with the power of God, demigod. You say no, he is a demigod. That is, he is like having the powers of God. Assembly of people who had come to pray, congregation. So when you pray in an assembly, it is called congregation. Abandoned on a deserted island, marooned. I was marooned on the island, they say. If you read these fairy tale stories and all, this word is very common, marooned. Utter disregard and impudence, temerity. Temerity is utter regard and impudence. The one who is able to live on both land and water, an amphibian. An amphibian can live both on land and water. So see, there must be at least 30-40% of the words that you know from this list, I am sure. Correct? There are 30-40% of this list which you know, the remaining you have to learn. Even I did not know many words from here, let me tell you. The ones that I've struggled to pronounce are the words that I have never come across. I'm reading it from this list for the first time, so there is always scope for learning, no? So even you people should learn, alright? So now I'll go home and revise those words again. Why? Because I need a hold on my vocabulary, no? As an English teacher, I need to know good words so that I can incorporate in my writing. Same thing you people should do. Even as a teacher, if I am willing to learn, as children you should learn, because you have an exam to attempt, alright? So see, even I am struggling. It's not that I know all of these words, even I struggled. One who is impulsive and energetic but less thoughtful is impetuous. So, who is impulsive and energetic मतलब हम जल्दबाजी में कुछ भी करने की कोशिश कर देते हैं, फिर सोचते नहीं है कि वो चीज जो कर रहा है वो सही है या गलत है. दैट इज कॉल्ड impetuous. Correct? So you are very energetic, you are very curious, you are very eager to do certain things, but then finally when you are doing it, you do it very thoughtlessly. That is called impetuous. One who writes a dictionary, lexicographer. Who's that? Don't talk, I get disturbed. Don't talk. You are disturbing me. One who writes dictionary, lexicographer. Roundabout way of speaking, circumlocution. घुमा घुमा के बात करता है, सीधी पॉइंट पे नहीं आता है. That is called circumlocution. You know? He is undertaking a kind of circumlocution with me. What he is doing? घुमा घुमा के बात कर रहा है. He is circumlocuting. Circumlocuting, verb form. He is circumlocuting. That is, he is not talking straight to the point. One who believes easily, credulous. So if someone is believing you very easily, he trusts you, he is a credulous person. Credulous. Indirectly, in a circumlocutory manner, periphrastically. Circumlocutory manner, periphrastically. A person characterized by nobility, integrity and courtesy, Galahad. This also today I have seen. So if you are noble, if you have integrity, if you have courtesy within you, how you are? You are a Galahad. Galahad. Girls, 1 2 3. क्या हुआ? मैं आऊँ हेल्प करने को? नहीं? तो pay attention. Galahad. Carelessness and intentional abandonment, dereliction. Dereliction, when you are abandoning carelessly and intentionally. What are you abandoning carelessly and intentionally now? My studies. So you are being derelictory. You are being derelictory. You are in a state of dereliction. Why? Because you are not studying my English. Knowingly and carelessly you are abandoning my studies. No, that is called dereliction. Okay. Eating voraciously, gormandizing. भुक्कड़ जिसको बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? Literally one word for this is भुक्कड़. Okay. Gormandizing. याद रखो इसको हिंदी में, भुक्कड़. Gormandizing. Permissiveness in matters of freedom of thought and conduct, latitudinarianism. This is also now a new thing that I have learned. Permissiveness in matters of freedom of thought and conduct is latitudinarianism. Servile flattery, adulation. Servile flattery, you are getting flattered beyond a point. Someone is बहुत मस्का मारना. बहुत मस्का मारना is adulation. One who entertains unnecessary anxieties about her health is hypochondriac. हमेशा लगता है मुझे कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ होता नहीं है, लेकिन you feel, oh something is wrong with me, oh I must take this medicine, oh I must have this medicine, and you keep a whole lot of medicines in your house for that kind of ailment also. Maybe there are no ailments but you will take. थोड़ा सा पेट दुखता है, दवा खाएंगे. थोड़ा सा acidity feel होता है, दवा खाएंगे. So that kind of self-care or that kind of anxiousness about your disease is called hypochondriac, where nothing has happened to you, but still you are in a state of sickness. One who loves book, bibliophile. One who loves books. So anywhere you go, that person will buy books. They are not bothered to buy anything else, they will buy books. They see a library, they will enter a book. Anywhere they see a book, they'll start opening and reading it. That is called a bibliophile. Ability in many different fields, versatility. He is a very versatile actor. He can do acting in he can perform different kinds of roles. And you say he is a versatile actor. So when you have an ability to do when you have an ability to do different kinds of things, you are being versatile. Uncomplaining attitude or pain or trouble is stoicism. Okay. Uncomplaining attitude is stoicism. stoicism. A loud mouth and aggressive woman, virago. Loud mouth and aggressive, जो हमेशा चीखती चिल्लाती रहती है, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? virago. The coining and using of new words, neologism. No, you are coining and using new words, that is called neologism. Study of silkworm breeding is sericulture. Round about the wordy circumlocutory. Round about the wordy circumlocutory. Easily governable, tractable, courteous and polished manner, urbanity. It was that simple to study. लेकिन ये घर पे करते नहीं हो, है ना? हाँ, काफ़ी सारे याद हो गए होंगे, काफ़ी सारे याद करने पड़ेंगे. अभी इसको घर पे जाके फिर से रिवाइज करो. Don't stop. Go home immediately. Take some rest. You have nothing to do for the entire day. You can learn this list now. It is only a list of 125, which you can learn and revise because you have read through once. जब एक बार पढ़ा जाता है ना कुछ, तो वो दूसरी बार पढ़ने में easy हो जाता है. So अभी मैंने पढ़ के दिया है. Please go home and revise, boys. I am talking. No, listen to me. Why you want to talk to your friends? I also talk nicely. You listen to me. है ना? हाँ, मुझे ही सुनो खाली क्लास में. So this is our, what did we study just now? We have studied one word substitution. No, so one word for many words. All right. So please go home and revise this list, plus revise comprehension. So today we have seen comprehensions and one word substitution. On Monday we will be revising the next, that is ologies and ographies. All right, and some grammar rules. I hope you people are comfortable with grammar, or is grammar still troubling you? How many people are troubled with grammar? Let me see. Raise your hands. You are still troubled with what type of grammar, meaning what is the problem? Bolo. The syllabus of grammar, okay. Come to page number 16. Come. Page number 16 पे ही है ना, see. On page number 16, I'll just scroll it down to here also. Hold on the screen. Come to page number 16 to know the syllabus of grammar. नहीं, page down किधर है? Unit 6 is English grammar. देखा तुमने? English 6 is English grammar. What all? So we have divided this into following subparts. लिखा है वहां पे. Go to page number 16. Open किया, or you look at the screen. But looking into the book is better. Page number 16. What is written? Articles. Articles में a and the है. One, a little, a few, this, that. All this we are studying. Prepositions. Some common mistakes in English composition, subject verb agreement, tenses, degrees of comparison, all the very basic grammar. Grammatical errors जहाँ पे scope होता है ना, that is all called grammar. Spelling errors is also grammatical mistake, correct? So wherever you have a scope for making grammatical errors in the basic grammar is called learning English grammar in competitive exams. So it is very, very common mistakes in English composition. When you are writing, you make very common mistakes, very, very common errors, है ना? Accept or accept, इन दो चीजों में हमेशा मिस्टेक होती है. It is accept or it is accept. Accept means to take, okay, and accept is a exception, that is instead of. Accept this, instead of this, this is. Accept this, not instead of also. Accept this is, you leave something aside. Leave something aside. So accept this one boy, all other boys have come to class. That is called leave something aside. Accept. This is the difference. And it is, you are tested on this, whether you know the accept or you know the accept. This is it. Correct? Accept and accept. Accept is you are accepting something. I accepted the guests with a lot of hospitality, so you are accepting them. Except one person, I accepted all the guests. Except one person, like this. I accepted all the guests. And here in the English grammar you are tested, guests. ये बात है, समझे? आप कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, ये गेस्ट को ये एस निकाल देंगे और यहाँ पे फुल स्टॉप डालेंगे. यू आर सपोज टू स्पॉट द एरर एंड नाउ यू विल स्ट्रगल. दिस हैज टू बी ऑल है तो फिर यहाँ पे प्लॉरल होना ही चाहिए. दिस इज द लॉजिकल थिंकिंग दैट यू आर सपोज टू एक्सरसाइज व्हेन यू आर चेकिंग. इधर देखो पहले, व्हाट वाज आई सेइंग? You are expected to do that kind of logical thinking कि यहाँ पे all है तो ये plural ही होगा और ये है error, ये है error. So spot the error जब बोलते हैं तो यहाँ पे error है ना, ये guest नहीं है, ये guests होना चाहिए. बस उतना easy है वो. पर ये कब आएगा पता है ये feeling? Now how could I conjure a sentence like this? Because I am learning, I am practicing. You people also need to practice. पेन और पेपर हाथ में लेकर बैठो और इसको प्रैक्टिस करो. पुट अ टाइमर. सी 40 मार्क्स है इंग्लिश के. योर 40 मार्क्स शुड गेट सॉल्व्ड विद इन 30 मिनट्स. योर 40, you have 90 minutes, 1.5 hours for 100 marks, no? So you should split, you should put a timer. See, we have a set of paper here. Now in some papers you have 50 marks. Why? Because these are previous year sample papers. One time there was a 50 marks English paper. Last year it was 30 marks. Okay, this year it is 40 marks. So you set a timer that I will complete 40 sentences in 30 to 35 minutes or less than that also. टाइमर लगाओ मोबाइल पे, सामने बैठो और फटाफट सॉल्व करो उसको. Solve it. There is a OMR sheet also. Tear it out. और you take a xerox of the OMR sheet and just mark with a black ball pen. अभी mark. तुम्हारा वो ये एग्जाम ऑनलाइन है तो ऑनलाइन मार्किंग इज another thing. But you just have to mark and see how much time you are taking to solve English. Then you set out to solve maths. Maths का 30 sums you should be able to solve in 25 minutes. You should be 20 to 25 minutes, not more than that. And GK and computer basics में क्या है ना, तुमको खाली आंसर आना चाहिए. वो तो बहुत डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस हैं. ये वाले ज़रा कंफ्यूज करते हैं और ऐसे क्वेश्चन आएगा तो तुम लोग सोचते ही बैठोगे अरे कहाँ पे है एरर, ये यहाँ पे है एरर. दिस इज द कंफ्यूजन दैट विल बी देयर इन योर एग्जाम विच यू आर सपोज टू क्रैक. आई बात समझ में? सो टाइमर लगा के, सो मेनी क्वेश्चन पेपर्स आर देयर, व्हाट एल्स डू यू नीड? टाइमर लगा के बैठो ना. 40 मार्क्स है ना, सो 40 मार्क्स को सॉल्व करो विद इन 25 to 30 minutes and see how you will be able to. And it's not difficult. Learn karo or solve karo. And when you are solving, all the answers are also given. See how many you got correct. Wherever you are wrong, you are supposed to revise. Or you can come to me that I got these answers wrong. Explain to me why I was wrong, especially in grammar or other areas. बस हो गया. लेकिन ये एक्सरसाइज जब तक तुम लोग खुद नहीं करते हो, इट इज ऑफ नो यूज. आई कैन रिपीट एवरीथिंग 1000 times over here. आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग, बट इट इज ऑफ नो यूज. सो सबसे पहले तुम आर्टिकल्स पढ़ोगे तो आर्टिकल्स के बारे में एक्सप्लेन किया है इन डिटेल इन द बुक. देन पेज नंबर 17, when do we omit a and the, a and an? Then there is a little, a few, and little, few. All right, so all rules about that. We are going to revise this again, so don't worry. You came late for the classes, joined late. Okay. No, we will be revising these rules again, so don't worry. The is the definite article that is there. You know what is the definite article the. You know a and the, right? So there are some rules for competitive exams that you have to keep in mind. उसके बाद है omission of the. And see, this is such a big topic. That means This is an area which is confusing. So you have to study this thoroughly. After that you have prepositions, another favorite topic of the examiners. Because prepositions are tricky. We did one full lecture on prepositions. I hope you have noted down. No? So again we will be revising in the same manner. After prepositions, omission of to with verbs of communication. Omission of to and for before indirect objects. You know what is a direct object, what is a indirect object. Direct object is object of the verb. Object of the verb, when you ask the question to the verb, you get the object. So the verb has performed something and it has made an object. Indirect object, that doesn't belong to the verb in the sentence. Subject hota hai, subject will always perform the action. No? In every sentence, even in Hindi, Marathi, whatever language you are speaking, the sentence, whatever you are talking, will always have a subject, it will have an action, it will have an object. And then something else follows in the sentence, which are indirect objects. The sun rises in the east with different hues. Now the sun rises in the east, rises in the east. East is the object of our verb with different hues. Hues meaning colors is a indirect object. Hues is also a noun, no? So it is a indirect object. It means that indirect object. So what are the rules for to and for before indirect objects? Omission of to with verbs of communication. What are verbs of communication? While communicating, you are using certain verbs. So that is verbs of communication. After that you have, it is divided into so many things. See, on time, in time. Turn to page number 21. When do we use on time? When do we use in time? When do we use in good time? On arrival, on arriving, on reaching, on getting to, at the beginning, end, in the beginning, end, at first, at last. Time, from, since, for, during. All these are prepositions. No? Then you have travel and movement, from, to, at, in, by, on, into, onto, off, out, out of. All these prepositions we have revised once. Correct? Then home. When is home and house used? What is the difference between using a home and using a house? I am in my home nahi bolte hai. I am in my house. No? Home is where the heart is. Now you are not going to say house is where the heart is. So what is the difference between house and home? Get in, into, out, out of. Giving directions, at, into, to. Then 24 is at, 25 in. All prepositions that we have revised earlier. Only the way that it is written in this book is different, but the rules are the same. Rules do not change, no? Grammar is like maths. The rules will never change. They will never change. And you have to learn those rules to apply them in grammar. Above, over. Prepositions with adjectives and participles. I told you that day what is participle. I'll tell you again on Monday. So we are going to revise this part in detail. Alright. And then you have common mistakes in English composition. All this is your grammar, which is given in the book. Common mistakes in English composition. What are the pronouns that are supposed to be used? Verb, we have already done this once. We will be doing it again. Some important rules, section 4, unit 4D is some important rules, especially pertaining to subject-verb agreement. Your subject and your verb has to agree. The boy goes to the market, the boys go to the market. That is called subject-verb agreement. And there are rules for the subject and verb to agree. The action that the subject is performing, it has rules. How to agree. Plural and singular, that's it. It is a rule about singular and plural. The verb plus the subject. after this there is a word list that you are supposed to study. Okay. Now in GK, how are you revising GK, general knowledge? Are you revising or no? Yes? Your accounting and your finance that you learned in the 12th standard, 11th standard, all those basic questions are going to come in GK. Okay? And the 15 marks will be a combination of your accounting, basic knowledge about accounting and finance, listen to me, and then history, geography and current affairs. So there will be 3 major topics that are going to come for the 15 marks of GK. Don't stress, just read. Don't stress upon GK, just read the general knowledge part. You brought the volume 2 today? Who is that? No. Why you don't bring? See this capsule, general knowledge and current affairs capsule, that is sent to you in your Telegram group. Is it not there? It's there? No? How many of you have seen this in the Telegram group? Raise your hands. It's there. It's there, no? If it is not there, I need to send it immediately. I need to ensure. There is a history capsule, there is a geography capsule and there is a general knowledge capsule. Please ensure that you read this. Spend just half an hour to read it. ज़्यादा नहीं. हिस्ट्री का थोड़ा पढ़ो, ज्योग्राफी का पढ़ो और जनरल अफेयर्स का पढ़ो. काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें जिसको इंटरेस्ट नहीं है जनरल अफेयर्स में शायद नहीं पता होगा, लेकिन जो पेपर पढ़ता है या फिर जो न्यूज़ देखता है उसको पता होना चाहिए. So this is our general knowledge capsule. See now what all it has. General knowledge. What all topics it has. It is prehistoric period and Indus Valley civilization. So even if you are not reading the history and geography capsule, this book should be fair enough to read to prepare yourselves for the 15 marks grammar. See, everything is there. Vedic period, religious movement, Maurya Empire, all this is history. Gupta Empire, post-Gupta, Delhi Sultanate. No? Then you have Bhakti Sufi movement, Mughals, Vijayanagar Empire. Quiet everybody. Then South India, arrival of Europeans, British conquest of India. After that, Governor Generals of India, the British Governor Generals that we had, how many we have, all the names are listed. After that, British rule and policies, revolt of 1857 and era of moderates, social and religious movements, national movement, Gandhian era, way to independence. When is the Gandhian era? When Gandhiji came to India in 1920 from South Africa and he started overseeing the freedom struggle. No, he worked very hard for our freedom. So that is the Gandhian era. So from after 1920, when you study history and you study, quiet everybody, who's talking? You hide your faces and you start talking and you think I will not know. Now look at me. वो अभी भी छुपा के बैठा है. So Gandhian era is after 1920. Way to independence. How did we acquire our independence? Our freedom fighters have really struggled. Sorry? Because of whom? Because, yeah. So these are our freedom fighters. No, see, their contribution or to fight a British Empire was not easy at that time. Let me tell you, we are reading history only in few pages. It is a struggle that we undertook from 1857 when we fought our first war of independence. So look at the feeling that the people had that time. You know, they really wanted to get free from the Britishers who were committing atrocities, oppression on our Indians. So it's not easy. The Britishers plundered our wealth. They have plundered our wealth to great extent. They did immense damage. If they have built infrastructure, yes, they built the railways, they have built some good things, they did the good things, they brought in a good education system, the Macaulay system of education, but at the same time they plundered us also. Alright, so how our fighters, our freedom fighters fought is really commendable, it is really worth knowing. You should know how our freedom fighters have spent years in jail and then they were released. No, spending your prime years in jail is not a very easy task. When you're jailed in your prime years is not is really something which I will not want anyone to undergo. No, so you have to learn about our freedom struggle, world history, revolutions and world wars. That's it. So what about the different revolutions? See, everything is here. This all is in a separate history book also. It is there. Then you have art and culture. What are the paintings, music, dance and drama, fairs, festivals and handicrafts of India? So इसको आधा घंटा पढ़ो, सिर्फ आधा घंटा पढ़ना है. उसके बाद है geography. So in geography you have geomorphology, oceanography. Geomorphology is related to land, climatology related to climate, oceanography, quiet, related to ocean, solar system, you know some things about the solar system. Then Indian geography, Himalayas, plains, plateaus, no, peninsula, western Ghats, eastern Ghats, correct? How the three parts, the three parts are protruding in the ocean. You have Bay of Bengal on one side, Arabian Sea on one side, Indian Ocean on the other. India is the only land which is surrounded on all three sides by oceans. So all these things, you know all these things, but you need to now know them further. So when you read them, everything you will recall because you have studied all this in geography. If you are belonging to the CBSE board, your geography had majority of India, no? How many of you are from the CBSE board? So geography had all major India, no? India size and location, physical features of India, then India climate, agriculture, manufacturing. So all these lessons are part of this geography. And then human geography and world geography, a little bit of world geography. And then you have the environment. Basic concepts, international conventions and international environmental laws, climate change, biodiversity. All this. And after that is this index. Again, so polity. Polity is all about our politics, our constitution in the making and our preamble. You should know who was the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Our constitution was written, right? Someone has written the constitution. Who chaired that assembly? Assembly is a group of people. Ambedkar. He is the architect of our Indian constitution. Our Indian constitution gives us citizens certain rights. And those rights are all enlisted in our constitution. Shh. A lot of thought goes into making of our constitution. The people who wrote the constitution along with Baba Saheb Ambedkar are the people who have really put that thought process into it and ensured that every citizen of India gets equal rights. No one is oppressed, suppressed in any kind. So this is a very valuable, this is like gold for India. The constitution is gold for India. It gives you rights. Today if you have the right to speak, the freedom of movement, right of equality, right of speech. All these rights are given to you by the constitution. We are a democracy. And a democracy is always governed by a constitution. What is a constitution? It is like a rule book. What is a constitution? It is like a rule book. You have to follow the rules. The judges, when they are giving judgments, where is everything written? All these sections and articles and all, they are written in the constitution. We have our government. We have the central government, the state government, the local government. You think people are doing it on their own? It is listed that we will have a central government. It sits in Delhi. It will look after whole of India. Then we have the state government. It looks after every state. We call it assembly also. We call it Vidhan Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha matlab हर एक राज्य की सभा, हर एक राज्य की गवर्नमेंट. कितने राज्य हैं हम लोग के? हाउ मेनी स्टेट्स वी हैव एंड हाउ मेनी यूनियन टेरिटरीज? 2 union territories. How many states? Come on. And how many union territories? 7. So see, you have to know. It is okay if you don't. Shh. Quiet. हाँ. 8 है. 8 union territories. See, it is okay if you. Who's talking? It is okay if you don't know, but learn now. All this is the basic grammar, basic general knowledge that will be asked in the exam. All right, if you don't know, you never gave it a thought, you all are commerce students, you don't think much about all these things, it is all right. You don't need to have knowledge about everything, no? But it is your country, so you should know how many states are there in your country, how many union territories, who is the government of your country, what is the system of government, what type of government is India observing, what is it called, what is the type of government. You know, there are different types of governments. Quiet everybody. Democratic government, we have democracy. No, what we have? Democracy. And what type of system are we using for governance? What type of democracy है, लेकिन democracy में what type of system are we using for governance? Governance के लिए क्या use करते हैं? Federal system of governance. What do we have? We have the federal system of governance. What is the federal system of governance? Federal system of governance is a system of governance where power is shared. How is power shared? Power is shared vertically. Hierarchy है, वो hierarchy भी नहीं बोलते हैं. Power is shared vertically. Everyone has its power. In hierarchy, some may have more power, some may have little power. But यहाँ पे, in who is talking and getting impatient? Listen to this. These are all general knowledge questions that will be asked. Learn some things now. So we have a federal system of government where power is shared vertically. Power is shared vertically. So this is vertical power sharing. And in vertical power sharing, you have the center, you have the state, you have the local government. So earlier we had the center government, which is sitting at Delhi. It looks after the whole of the country. For example, defense. Can you have different type of defense for different states? It has to be the same kind, no? One state cannot say, no, I don't want any person to guard my borders. Another state may say, no, but I want so many guards to guard my border. We need a equal defense system. So defense falls under the state, under the center. We will have the same type of defense for the entire country. So the center, state education. No, every state has some different way of educating. So some may say Marathi is a language in Maharashtra. Tamil Nadu, now they are fighting over Hindi imposition and they are saying no, we will learn only 2 languages, one is English and one is Tamil. DMK is saying, correct? So all these, so state government, and each one is independent. The state has its own power where the state government is concerned. It will get funds from the center. but the state has its own power. It will decide whatever is there within the jurisdiction of the state government. Every decision can be taken by the chief minister of the state. Then after that, what we felt is we need a third tier of government that was introduced in 1992. When did the third tier of government come into place? 1992. What is the third tier of government? For Mumbai, for Mumbai, the third tier of government is the municipality. For local issues, now if the road outside my class is not good and I want to complain, will I go to the chief minister and complain? I will not go to chief minister, right? Who is the chief minister? Fadnavis at present. I will not go to Fadnavis and say मेरे class के बाहर रास्ता खराब है, मैं कहाँ जाऊँगी? I will go to the municipality. And for that kind of local governance, a third tier of local government was introduced. So remember, this is a general knowledge question. What type of governance we have? And together all this is called the federal system of governance. This is governance, no? They are governing the people of India with this kind of system. We have a vertical sharing of power. There is horizontal sharing of power also. How is power shared horizontally? Power is shared horizontally between three: legislature, executive, and judiciary. And this is horizontal power sharing. We share power horizontally also. Power sharing. The legislature, it makes laws. The executive will ensure that laws get implemented, and the judiciary will see that the laws are not flouted upon. No, each one is independent. But if some crime is committed by the legislature, the judiciary comes into the picture. If one of the judges is not performing well, the executive comes into the picture. Followed? So, although they are independent, yet they have checks on each other. It is also known as the system of checks and balances. It is also called a system of, so where this is known as federal system, this is called a system of checks and balances. And this is our power sharing arrangement in India. We have a federal system of power sharing. Uske baad, after that, after this, so this is all our polity. This is all about politics. Constitution, fundamental rights, you should know fundamental rights. They ask you questions. Fundamental duties and DPSP, union executive and legislature, state executive and legislature, I told you. So union is center. Union government is the government of the entire India, center. Then state government and legislature, what is it? Alright, and then judiciary, I told you just now. Our judiciary comprises of local court, high court, supreme court. From the local court, if you are not satisfied with the verdict, where can you go? High court. High court, if you are not satisfied with the verdict, you can go to the Supreme Court. If you are not happy with the verdict of the Supreme Court, what do? You can write a letter and appeal to the President of India. You can write a letter and appeal to the President of India. Sometimes when there is a death sentence given to some criminal for a crime that he has committed, he can write to the President, he or she, quiet everybody. He or she can write to the President and give an appeal that I need you to consider to my appeal for the death sentence. And the President may or may not, okay, concede, depending on how severe the crime is or how serious the crime that was committed is. Okay, all right. So we have three levels of courts. Then there is constitutional and non-constitutional bodies. Panchayati Raj and municipal corporation is local government. In the rural areas, we have Panchayati Raj. In the urban areas, we have municipal corporation. No? So Mumbai is an urban areas. We have municipal corporation. Where is the head office? VT. You see that building opposite VT railway station? That is our municipal corporation of Greater Mumbai. Okay? Then there is landmark judgment. Certain judgments that you need to know. How they were passed? Shh. Certain judgments, how they were passed and why they were passed. Micro and macroeconomics. National income. Now economics part you know. You have studied. So this learning this basic is not going to be very difficult. Then you have general science based on very general. You don't have to study the formulas and all. It is basic science that you study in your school. So motion and force, work, energy and power, gravitation, light, sound, electricity, atoms and molecules, solid, liquid, gas, biology, a little bit of biology is there, and then exam special agriculture, railways, a little bit knowledge, banking, science and technology, bills and acts. What were the bills? What is a bill? When some decision has to be taken by the government, a bill is passed. For example, reservation. If you have to decide on increasing the quota of reservation or decreasing the quota of reservation, since this is listed in the constitution, any changes that have to be made in our constitution have to be passed by a bill. A bill is passed. It is called a bill, which is a written document about what we want to do, what changes we want to, whether we want to amend the constitution with these changes. A bill is passed. A bill is discussed in the Lok Sabha. It has to have a majority, and only then it is passed. So there are several processes of if something has to be decided and put into the constitution. See, when it goes to the constitution, it becomes your right. So for a right to be included in the constitution, you need to amend it, and there is a process which starts from the bill. Aaya samajh mein? It is called a bill. And acts. What are the acts that are there? Schemes and policies, Indian panorama, world panorama, and then current affairs, political affairs, economical affairs, social affairs, environmental and technological, bills and acts and policies, schemes, sports and awards. And this is all 2025. So study properly. And then starts our book. How to study the book? Read every topic properly, grasp it. So if you are seeing prehistoric age, it is divided into 3 sections: Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age. You know this? No? You know this. You have studied this earlier in your smaller classes. So you just need to brush up now. And you will, what is happening, my dear? Sit quietly and listen, please. I have no problem. I can just say there is a book, read. Do I need to discuss it on the board? I will go home and sit. I am standing here talking, helping you to understand what is there. Please look at the board and don't get distracted by unnecessary things. You have your entire life to get distracted. There is only one CET exam that is going to come at the end of April. No? Correct? So pay attention. Don't get distracted. Stop talking. You have all the time to talk after the class is over. So lower Paleolithic age, middle Paleolithic age and upper Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age. These are the ages that you are supposed to read. Only reading, it is very, very basic. And underline whatever you are reading. If you want, take a printout, or you can study on your screen itself. Then you have the culture, then you have Indus Valley civilization. This you have studied in your earlier classes. Everything has been taught to you in your, so there is nothing that you are studying advanced. You are studying only the basic that is there. After the Indus Valley civilization, then you have Indus Valley and their excavators. Harappa, who excavated? Who did the excavation? That is, who dug up to find the things inside. Mohenjo-daro is R.D. Banerjee. Sutka Jendor is Oriel Stein. No, these are places. Okay. Streets and roads of the Indus Valley civilization. All basic knowledge, but you need to study. You need to study this for how many marks? 15 marks. And the remaining 15 marks, which is computer basics, is there in the volume 2. Only revise that. Only revise that and you will be sailing through. This book is not very big. I think it is only 72 to some 70 pages odd book. 148 or something. So that's it. So divide the number of pages into the days. So if you want to finish the book in 20 days, 148 divided by 20. That's it. 148 divided by 20, and whatever number, those are the number of pages that you will read every day. Underline and study. And it will not only help you in this exam, it will help you in your other exams also. You will be attending a lot of competitive exams in your life, let me tell you. And this book will be helpful for you. Alright? So now, let's disperse. What is the time? It's 10:30. You have another lecture. So let's disperse now, okay? What time was the lecture? And I took extra time today. I'm so sorry. Say, don't be sorry, ma'am. Bolo.